In this video, we're going to talk about 100% financing. We're also going to talk about what if a deal doesn't meet 100% financing and what you can do in both of those situations. And here's what it really comes down to, guys. If you're looking to get 100% financing, there's some parameters you're going to have to be under. This is how it works. If your loan amount is under $350,000, then it could be eligible for 100% financing. If your loan amount is over $350,000, you're not going to be able to get 100% financing. You're going to have to come up with a minimum of about 8.5%, but that could be as high as 20 to 30% in order to do that if it's over $350,000. So your resale price, let's say, is $473,000, which means you're getting a loan for $350,000. Now, if you don't want to come up with any additional funds, that means that the purchase, the rehab, the closing costs, 5 months interest, and any of your loan fees, all of that cannot exceed that $350,000. So that means that all those fees added together can't exceed the $350,000 or can't exceed 74% of the after repaired value. So let's go through another scenario here. Let's just say that your after repaired value came in at $400,000. The question is, what is the max amount you could get as a loan and get the 100% financing? Well, we take the 400,000, we times that by 0.74%, which gives us $296,000. But that $296,000 needs to include everything. So let's say that your purchase is $225,000, and then let's say your rehab is $50,000. I'm just throwing out numbers here, guys. 50, and that's 275 minus 296. So let's say that 5 months worth of interest is $10,000. And then let's say your loan costs are $5,000 and your loan fees are $6,000. That would mean this is the purchase, this is the rehab, this is your closing costs. So this is your purchase, this is your rehab, this is your closing costs, 5 months worth of interest, and loan fees has to be 74%. The total of all those has to be 74% of the after repaired value. And if that's the case, then you would be able to get that 100% financing of the purchase, the rehab, the closing costs, the interest, and the loan fees, all included in that. Now, let's say that it comes in and instead of $296,000, let's say it's $305,000 is what those things add up to be. Well, what do? Well, you can either come up with that money, that $9,000, somehow you can come up with the money using external financing, friends and family, using a 401k, using a line of credit, or you can go and renegotiate with the seller and try and get that price down. Or what you can do is wholesale that deal potentially if it meets the qualifications to somebody else to get you some extra money, so then when it comes time and you need that extra money, you actually have that. But that's how it works out. In order to get the 100% financing, $350,000 is going to be the max all-in amount for the purchase, the rehab, the closing costs, 5 months worth of interest, and loan fees. Also, it's really important to realize that for 100% financing, there is a maximum rehab amount, and that rehab can't exceed $150,000. So meaning we put the rehab at $150,000. If that rehab was $160 or $50,000 is what we put it at. Let's say that rehab was $160,000. We would only be able to do $150,000 of that as long as it was within 74% all those costs of the after repaired value. However, you could come up with some additional cash if you wanted to, or it makes sense for you to look at doing a different loan product where it's not the 100% financing, where it is you're coming up with some of the money. You also need to realize for that 100% financing, the purchase, the rehab, the closing costs, the 5 months, and the loan fees have to be no more than 74% of that after repaired value.